I have battled with the question of choice in education for quite a while, both student choice in the content they are learning and student choice in assessment format. On one hand, I wonder if choice will only enable students to stay within their comfort zone rather than move beyond their preferred learning style and challenge themselves with a learning style they find more difficult. I want students to stretch themselves, take risks, and meet challenges head-on. But am I removing these challenges if I'm letting them choose something they find easy and can breeze by with little effort? On the other hand, if we don't provide choice in our assessment formats, students don't have the same chance to show they understand, know, and can do. Offering choice not only increases student motivation, but it proves to have many other benefits for student learning, such as high levels of thinking and creativity. Students who have unique choices to share their knowledge engage more of their creative side and learn to think abstractly. Offering choices allows you to activate higher orders of thinking on Bloom's taxonomy. Instead of just having students recall or summarize concepts, they can synthesize, adapt, and evaluate their information. Differentiation. By offering students choice, you are allowing them to show their learning in the way that is best for their learning style. Students who are musical learners, for example, can show their understanding of the concept by creating a song and performing it. This also works as a good tool for differentiating proficiency levels. While one student might choose to create a project that incorporates many in-depth vocabulary words, a lower-level student might be able to communicate the same information in a different way. 21st century skill building. A great byproduct on using choice assignments with students is by teaching them valuable skills regarding technology, collaboration, and innovation. Educator Ben Johnson provides the analogy on edutopia.com of two balloon artists. The first balloon artist had a simple business model. He would ask a child what they wanted and he would create it, whether it be flowers, swords, poodles, Spider-Man, crows, you name it, he would create it using balloons. The other balloon artist from the TV show My Name is Earl would ask children, do you want an eel, a snake, or a worm? The character Earl was either unwilling to tie the balloons in different shapes or did not want to put in the effort. Johnson discusses that as educators, we need to ask students what they want. He points out that many teachers don't even provide the option of an eel, snake, or worm. Never mind Spider-Man or poodles. Many elementary teachers, for example, make a point of assuring students that this is our classroom, but proceed to decide unilaterally on almost everything that goes on in it, from grading policy to room decor. If you do not already provide students with choice, you may want to start off by providing options. For example, one teacher on teachhub.com started off by providing his students the choice of which character they would like to choose to explore from the book of Mice and Men. He then began allowing his students to choose between what type of project they would like to do, such as a creative writing project over an essay. His major pros for providing choice were: students could demonstrate their knowledge in a way they felt they could succeed. You also get to know your students' strengths by observing their choices. Students took ownership over a project. And as a teacher, it makes it more interesting for us to mark diverse projects. The cons he discussed were: projects, while different, have to be equally rigorous and meet the goals set out at the beginning of the unit. This takes very careful thought and organization. Students may not choose to stretch themselves to practice and develop new skills. Everyone practices all the skills, but each chooses one to further develop. In order to encourage students to choose assessment formats that challenge them, you could allow students choice on how they demonstrate their learning per assignment, but only allow them to use an assessment format once. Provide them other options to choose from for different assignments. Or include a few assessment formats in one project, such as a short reflection to a video they created, or have them host a discussion with a small group if they wrote a newspaper article. This way, students may then have the opportunity to work using their preferred way of sharing what they have learned, while also exploring another way of sharing which they find more challenging. And best yet, you could encourage students to take risks by rewarding the process, not the outcome or product. If they think that it would be interesting to research and report on an issue in their community, but are worried they won't do well, encourage them to make an effort and to track the progress of their research, the many changes and adaptations they have made to the report, and the feelings they had during the process. As teachers, we need to make it clear to students that we will support them throughout the process by providing strategies if they are stuck and feedback to help them improve. Some teachers provide a list of assignments for the course, and students can choose which assignments they would like to complete off of the list. In order to do this, teachers need to ensure that any combination of the assignments will meet the course objectives. Mary Ellen Weimer, PhD, suggests students respond to the following questions after choosing their assignments. Look at the collection of assignments you've decided to complete and explain what those choices say about how you prefer to learn. Look at one assignment you did not choose and explain why you did not choose that assignment. Does being able to select assignments impact your motivation to learn? Explain if it does or doesn't. Do you think students learn more and do better when they select assignments, or is it preferable to have the teacher just make the assignments? Why would a teacher let students select assignments and/or give them a role in determining how much those assignments will count? Having students reflect on their choices can encourage more thinking about their decisions. As teachers, it is important to know why a student did not choose an assignment. Do they fear they will not do well, or do they just enjoy the method of representation? Do they think that the project is harder or will require more effort? Stanford professor Linda Darling Hammond discusses how providing students with choice gives students ownership over the process and can powerfully affect teaching and learning. If students are choosing their assessment formats, then as teachers, how do we mark these wonderfully diverse assignments? It may take more effort for both the teacher and the student, but I believe collaboratively determining criteria for their assignments by which their work is judged is key. As the teachers, we could have a rubric already formatted for different assessment formats, one for essay writing, one for devising an experiment, one for developing a newspaper article or TV report, etc. But students should have a say in the criteria and then be able to evaluate their work against those criteria. My practicum classroom is a kindergarten class, and even though they require a lot of direction and structure, I still find ways to provide them with choice. For example, for Valentine's Day, we read the book Love Monster by Rachel Bright, and then they were making Love Monster puppets. I adapted the craft to allow them to choose the number of eyes, color of their monster, number of teeth, color of the heart they put on their monster, and color of ears. The students even had the choice to write something in the heart or to leave it blank. Students also have choice when it comes to math games or centers. During math games, students can move around to different tables and play with all sorts of math games. Some may be counting and sorting. Other math games include matching up numerals and number of items. During centers, students have the choice on which center they decide to play with, whether it be building forts, playing in home center, building with blocks, coloring. The possibilities are endless. Think of your practicum. Can you think of any examples when you provided choice to students? Did you provide options to choose from, or did you leave the choice completely open? Do you think my concern about providing choice is valid? That by providing students choice, we are enabling them to stay within their comfort zone? How do you think we can encourage students to choose assessment formats they find challenging? How do you feel about having criteria prepared for students per assessment format, which can be tweaked based on their needs and suggestions? Do you find it difficult to allow choice for assessment format in your classroom? If so, why?